Man, I know we got a lot to talk about, but we got daddies for you and daddies for me. We got daddies everywhere, daddies screaming inside of me.
Welcome to page 7, everybody. We got daddies screaming inside.
Creaming.
Oh, creaming.
Oh, yeah, not your creaming.
See, I was thinking a daddy screaming while he's creaming inside.
Oh, that's nice, too. But he has to cream inside of me for the daddy to be a daddy.
Oh God! It's somebody else's daddy.
Somebody else is not my daddy.
I know, but it's just the way that you're saying it doesn't. You're like, of course, it's somebody else's daddy. Just talking about daddies creaming. Why are you so grossed out?
Yeah, it's not is it like a daddy type thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if you saw the dedication of February 24th, I believe, is Daddy Day on the Page 7 Facebook.
I will say that I learned about Daddy Day as not knowing what had led up to it or why that it happened. Had a great honeymoon and just was suddenly inundated with daddy pictures in the group. And I was like, well, something's going well. This is fine.
I did not hear about Daddy Day.
Well, what do you turn the notifications off? It's all daddies all the time.
We only go on Facebook like once a week now.
Oh, I hear ya.
The group has been 100% taken over by daddy pictures, and it's perfection.
Well, now it's moving out, and then there's a whole separate group for daddies now.
Really?
Yeah, because I think some people were getting upset about only daddies.
Oh, invite me to the daddy group. I'll go. I thought it was great.
Is it men that just kind of have the daddy look, like rest in peace Bill Paxton, the big daddy, like the kind of like daddy kind of like
miss this house and miss that house and come right after you. Daddies like him, yes.
Me, Joe.
Me, Joe. Oh my God, yes. Bill Paxton and Twister, yes, be my daddy, my dead daddy.
We need to talk about Bill Paxton, obviously, but just to clarify, the daddies, it was a wide range.
Such a wide range.
It was like, and I don't think it was limited to just people who are, have children. It was just handsome men who we wanted to call daddy. I think was maybe it was like it started with like silver foxes and and more explicit looking daddies, and then by the end it was just like this man could be a daddy.
I want to have sex with him. And then I would see the picture and be like, yes, I would like to have sex with him as well. I think the last one I saw was Tim Oliphant, which I've been watching Santa Clarita Diet. So yes, daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Came inside of me.
That happened spontaneously. That
wasn't me.
I thought. I was like, I must have missed something. And in the episode you guys did while I was gone, there must have been like you must have declared Daddy Day.
No,
that was totally organic.
It was it was beautiful.
See, social movements start online, you guys.
And it was just everything. I just needed it so much over this past few days too. I just wanted to look at hot men.
Well, congratulations to everyone.
Thank you. I felt good about it. We just have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
It's hard to know where to start. Of course, the Oscars were last night. One of the most talked about Oscars of all time, I think. Of course, everyone knows what happened with the wrong envelope and all that. And we do know now that what happened was a wrong envelope. Although Faye Dunaway did fuck up quite a bit.
Yes, and everyone's blaming Warren Beatty. And poor Warren Beatty didn't do anything wrong.
No, he showed her the envelope to be like, hey, check this out.
This is a problem, right?
This is a problem.
And she just was like, yeah, I completely feel horrible for Warren Beatty. I don't really feel bad at all for Faye Dunaway. She isn't getting any of the heat, A. And B, yeah, she was just like, well, I see the words La La Land on it. He's obviously being stupid. I'll just read it. Or what? I don't know what she was thinking.
Well, they're blaming Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything. He didn't. He obviously knew something was wrong. He didn't know what to do. And yeah, I kind of interpreted the same thing. I feel like he looked at Faye Dunaway to be like, is this right? And instead she was just like, La La Land.
Oh, stop being so bad. La La Land!
Yeah.
I also felt so bad for Warren Beatty as well afterwards. I mean, it was the hubbub, but then the guy, I don't remember his first name, Horowitz, that was giving his acceptance speech, and he rips the paper out of Warren Beatty's hand and shows everybody that it said Moonlight, but it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault at all.
No, not even close. And I really respect Warren Beatty for not just kind of shuffling off the stage. He's like, no, I'm going up to the microphone. I'm telling everybody what happened. I'm not going down like this.
Yes, I respect him for that too, and I would have wanted to save face as well, and I'm glad that he did. But there was also like, I feel like as that was happening, all of the Moonlight people are coming on and celebrating, and like poor Warren Beatty's just like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, and it's like I just want to be like, honey, I know this, you're in a horrible situation right now, but you gotta like literally, Moonlight just had like a 6-minute delay from the and then like they got to give their, I mean, and theirs, you know, their acceptance speech was great, and the director was obviously just like, oh my god, but I just felt so bad for Warren Beatty standing there and being like, I wasn't trying to make a joke.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't trying to be funny. that was which was actually very funny.
I don't know if Warren Beatty ever really was trying to be funny, ever.
Bullworth.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was interesting that they also had Shirley MacLaine on presenting an award as well. Man, they're going, guys, they're going out. They're going out. Shirley MacLaine she must have had a stroke or something. And I hated it because the people I were with were making fun of how she was speaking. And I immediately, I went to like I was like, don't make fun of her.
Yeah, don't make fun of old people.
She obviously she seems to have had a stroke or something. And I was like in tears that she was the way that she was. She's old.
She's very old. But Faye Dunaway was looking pretty great.
She was looking pretty good.
Yeah, she did great, and she obviously, I think that I don't know, I don't mean to peddle conspiracy theories. There's obviously going to be a lot in response to this, but I think, did she just like, what did she do? Did she say, well, I'm going to disregard the fact that it says Emma Stone, and I'm just going to say La La Land?
See, I looked at the envelope. Emma Stone is written really small. La La Land is written really big. I think she just glanced over. It's like, oh, Warren's being bad. He's always being so bad.
Okay.
She just looked at it, glanced over, saw La La Land in really big letters. It's like, all right, La La Land.
Okay, so that's good. That's fine. I was like, because if you saw Emma Stone, like, how could, like, that's not a movie.
They're also 100,000 years old, though.
Yes, and they're live, and they're in front of a bunch of people.
And she just thought it was a screw up, so she just wanted to get done.
And it's never happened before, so it's not like they were prepared to be like, oh, maybe they gave us the wrong card. But
I'm gonna say 10 people got fired because of this.
Oh yeah.
At least.
Yeah, and there's a lot of blame to be going around. Some people are blaming the new design of the cards this year. Is that apparently the cards have been the same for years and years and years, and this year the Academy decided to do a different design. Apparently, this design is harder to read because it's gold letters on a red background, so it doesn't pop out as much as it does. So there's a lot of envelopes being handed out because people come out from both sides. Each person gets an envelope handed on each side, and they just had an extra Best Actress one over there. Best Actress is right before Best Picture. They accidentally handed them the Best Actress or the Best Actress envelope instead of the Best Picture envelope, and that's when he opened it up and was like, oh shit. And I could imagine there was like 2 people backstage being like, I think I handed him the wrong Best Actress.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. You handed him the right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did. I might have.
Yep.
Fuck, I don't know. I think I did. Well, you can't just fucking go out there. No, I can't. Of course I can't go out there right now.
Yes.
Go out there. I can't go out there. You go out there.
This is the exact play I've been having in my head all day. Imagining those poor bastards who were like, and I hadn't thought about the moment leading up to when they announced it, but I keep thinking about the moment after as the La La Land cast is going up to the stage and the people who are back there then being like, fuck, oh no, what are you gonna do? We got to go and stop them.
I read a
We just
whole
let them
article
go,
about
go.
it. That there was a reporter that was back there that watched him. He's like, I've never seen so many people go into action at one time because all with the headsets, and they immediately stood up and like they just like went into move, like they just like started moving. They just knew that they had to stop it.
And when you watch it again, that guy with the headset goes out and he takes the old envelope and gives them a new one. And those poor, I mean, I feel like, I think it's wonderful that Moonlight won, and I feel bad that they didn't get to just like be announced and have their speech and win and all of that. But I also, of course, feel for La La Land to be standing up there and then have a fucking guy with a headset come out, rip the card away, and then give you the new one and like realize what's happening. Oh, that would have been painful.
I could tell what was going on when it was when they were up there, and I suddenly saw a guy with a headset in the back. When I saw a guy with a headset in the back, I went, ooh. I pointed just as someone who works in like production and like behind the scenes stuff and all that. I was like, ooh.
You are not to be seen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. oh, what is this? What is this? And I started like pawing at Carolina, like, what is it? What is happening? Oh shit, they picked the wrong one. It was the wrong one. And then he came out and said it's the wrong. I was like, called it. Fuck yeah.
So the people I was with, similar thing. They were like, something's wrong because they saw the guy with a headset. And the people I was with were like, their like first thought was like that something that like a security threat had happened or something because this guy with a headset had run out and so this like the people like I was like packing up the snacks. I was like, oh well, Moonlight didn't win, and like ready to get to like in bed, like had my pajamas on, and then everyone I was with was like, wait, something happened, and yeah, they thought something like external had happened, and then when they announced it. It was just like I've never seen anything like that on live TV before ever.
Oh, not since the titty at the Super Bowl has anything on live television happened like that. Not since Super Bowl titty.
I will go ahead. I mean, I'm throwing it out there. It's not a celebrity gossip, but it is about the Oscars. That I would say the awkward moment that trumped that moment was bringing all of the bus of people, of the tourists, to go see the famous people. And we are the lowly. And we're with the famous people. We're creatures of the night. Keep us in the dark. But look, famous people. I thought that was such a disgusting display. And I'm not talking about, but like, just like, if I was on that bus, I'd be like, no, I don't want to go there. No, I don't want to go in there. I'm dressed like a schlub. I'm in front of all these people that are dressed to kill.
I'm going to be a meme like, forever now.
Yes, I can't even imagine even wanting, I mean, I can't imagine being on a bus like that in the first place. Not that I'm against that, but and it's just so awkward.
I was kind of charmed by it just because Gary in the front was like so great. The guy who...
Yeah, Gary from Chicago. But what about when Jimmy Kimmel asked Jennifer Aniston if she had anything in her purse to give them?
Yeah,
and then he goes, your sunglasses. It's going to be dark out when you get out. Give her your sunglasses.
Probably like $2,000 sunglasses.
Easily. And I mean, I know it's nothing to her, but dude, putting her on the... That's fucking awkward, man.
That was awkward. Yeah.
Should I throw out a gold coin? Maybe they can afford a turkey or a duck to feed all of their many children. Like, I thought it was just pittance. It's like bringing in a jester.
Yeah, I hear you. I was actually initially charmed by it, but I went into it ready to just hate every single word that Jimmy Kimmel said because I'm not a fan of his. And I ended up being really pleasantly surprised. I thought he had a lot of great jokes.
I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was great. As far as Oscar, we didn't have high hopes at all, and he really shattered expectations.
Yeah.
He was really funny. He towed the line between like making some political jokes but not going too far or being too like yeah about it.
Yeah, I was super impressed, and so I think I was just in like a good mood when that thing happened, and so I was like, oh, this is cute. And I really Gary's wife when Jimmy was like, who's your favorite actor? And she was like, that man right there, and it was Denzel Washington. That was really sweet. Right?
And then he came up and said, I now pronounce you husband, right?
Yeah,
that was great.
But you're right. It was very much like, look at these regular people in their sweatshirts.
It was
suckers.
Awkward. I thought it was, and then they just got him out of there. Just like, don't look at them, don't talk to them anymore. You've done your bit. Get back into your cage.
Yeah. I just sat there wondering, like, where did they shuffle those people off to?
Yeah,
like the
on
lobby.
the bus.
Did they take them back to the bus and get like, all right, go back to your fucking Honda Civic, you piece of shit?
It had to be. It was just very. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But there were a lot of parts. I love the candy from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the dresses were phenomenal.
Yeah, Janelle Monáe's dress. Lord have mercy.
Pretty great dress.
Once you see her in Moonlight too,
I know.
Man, I just want to spread her on some toast.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait in every way to see Moonlight. Everyone in that movie is so beautiful and handsome.
Yes.
And everybody looked
and
great.
Good actors,
and
Molly.
I'm sure I haven't seen the movie yet. I just know that Mahershala Ali is a beautiful man. And
he is fantastic.
And I'm so used to being scared of him from House of Cards that it's nice to see how nice he is.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to suggest if you would like to see sex scenes with him, House of Cards.
Of course.
He's
with
beautiful.
a super hot chick from what is it? Deadwood.
Although I'm upset because I wanted to see him have sex with Janelle Monáe in Moonlight, but you don't get that.
Spoilers.
No sex. There's no sex between them. It's not about them and their sex life, although I would watch an offshoot. I'm throwing it out there.
Sequel to Moonlight.
Sequel to Moonlight, just their sex tape.
Moonlight 2, fucking.
Yes, please. She's just like singing, I'm walking on the tightrope. I love that song.
I thought her dress was amazing, but I also would have been psyched if she had shown up in like the white tux of like Janelle Monáe a few years ago.
How about how hot that fucking dude was she showed up with?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He was hot.
Yeah.
I was just hoping, I was like, please don't say that's like a brother or something. I just want to imagine her banging him, grabbing those dreads, just showing him a town.
He was a very pretty man.
How about all those, I want to say, I'm not a fabric person, although you might think that. The crushed velvet suits.
Yeah.
Is it velvet?
Yeah, it's velvet.
Yeah, because the guy from the Today Show on the red carpet
Michael
was wearing
Strahan.
one, and then he was talking to somebody.
The Rock.
Thank you. You and I watched the same part.
Yes.
And they were
You
all
mean
like,
all of it?
you mean 100%. Yeah, they were like, look at our velvet suits, and I like an interesting tuxedo. I like the ones with colors. I love that the Stranger Things kids always wear like jewel tone suits. I think it's cool.
That dude from Moonlight had an awesome tux.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
one of the screenwriters.
And all three, the three people who play the little boy, the medium one, and the adult, they were all wearing the same Calvin Klein tux, and now they're not the little boy, but the older ones are underwear models for Calvin Klein.
Oh, did you look at those pictures?
But they all
Children in underwear?
It's not the little
child.
boy. It's the older kid.
It's a teenager and the older one, and then I believe it's Montreal. Ali?
Mahershala
Ali. I believe he's in the in it as well.
Yeah, they are.
I say I believe, but I know this.
Exquisite. But yeah, the three versions of the main character were all wearing like coordinated tuxes by the same design. No, maybe they weren't Calvin Klein. I'm wrong, but they were all the same designer. Which I thought was very charming. But the velvet, I could take or leave. I like everything that The Rock does, but except for some of the films that he makes. But I like what he. I like his vibe, so I was fine with it.
I wore a lot of velvet in college.
Really?
I am not surprised to hear that.
I had a velvet jacket that I wore all the time.
What about pants?
No velvet pants.
Okay.
I had
Velvet
some
jacket is
leather
good.
pants that I wore sometimes.
Yeah,
rough.
I love you. We had one of those moments where you and I have different reactions.
Yes.
To things.
I had some weird weeks in college where I was like, I'll just try being a leather pants guy for a week. That didn't work.
But you've got. I think you could pull it off. You're skinny. I think skinny guys in leather pants look great.
In Lubbock, Texas, leather pants, that doesn't work all that well.
I see.
But, and it was
a
a
dry
crushed
heat,
velvet.
though.
The
Dry heat.
sweating on top, sweating on bottom for two different reasons, two different materials. I don't know. I can imagine you rocking both the velvet jacket and leather pants, but you would definitely be like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was absolutely that guy.
And I mean, everybody's talking about how great, and I'm not saying that her dress was not great, but I didn't really like Emma Stone's dress because I thought it was a whitewash.
Yeah.
I thought I could barely see where the dress ended or where she began because she's so fair.
It looked like two different dresses popped
Chandelier.
together. Yeah.
Yes. And there was a lot of swooshy. There was like two different people, at least maybe three, who had like swooshy layers, flappery layer, but it was like on long dresses, but those. The fringes.
Yes, I don't know. I wasn't into it, but what about Brie Larson's dress? Hachi Machi
I like
Tamagotchi.
her.
I would do things to her, but I'm not allowed to say that which is also fucking awesome because I am now full on board. I am completely changed woman from a month ago. Fuck Casey Affleck.
Yes.
But now it's a big thing, too, that they're talking about, that Brie Larson did not clap for him.
She didn't clap. And did you see? I read something today where she also gave him the Golden Globe. I think it was the Golden Globe. Maybe it's another award.
Because I think she won both.
Right.
Yeah.
And she didn't shake his hand that time, I think. So this is the second fucking time that Brie Larson, who is an advocate for sexual assault survivors, had to hand an award to a dude who I read the details of the allegations
It's
to him this morning.
disgusting.
They're horrible and also just so. I can just imagine absolutely that happened. It's like so typical of like workplace sexual harassment, but also so extra because of his fame and all of that. And
and who his brother is, and having all that like he thought that he could get away with it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't like him, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He looked like a homeless man
Well, he was
in
filming
a role.
yeah.
I know, but you can't. Give me a break. You can judge that. You can fill that shit in. You can't even just trim the neckline. Do something, because that's why makeup and hair people are the best people on earth, is that they can zhuzh it to get it back to where it's supposed to be. Give me a break.
There's a lot of zhuzhing going on.
Give me a break.
Yeah, when he also just looked like, and his speech was so stupid. He was just like, "Oh, I didn't plan anything." It's like, motherfucker, you've been obviously trying to get this award ever since you were in this movie, which apparently is very good, but whatever.
He is very good at the movie. I will give it that. However, man, how about those fucking daggers that Denzel Washington was throwing his way with the tears in his eyes?
Yeah, he had tears in his eyes.
He should not have run for. He should not have won for Trading Day, but. Fences is Fences is Fences. And he's great in Fences. And he directed Fences. And he produced Fences. And he did it on Broadway. Give the guy the Oscar.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, right. I haven't seen Manchester by the Sea or Fences, but I just, and maybe Casey Affleck acted the hell out of it and deserves the award. But I just it's like
He did a very good job.
But there should be consequences when you serially harass two people, and I don't know. I feel like that was very, and specifically the fact that Brie Larson, who was an advocate against sexual assault, had to do it was real shitty, definitely.
But her dress. Bomb.com. I couldn't
She's
get.
beautiful.
She's not only so beautiful, but she looked like one of those like Hollywood 1950s Barbies. That it was just such a classic, beautiful fucking dress.
Have you seen Room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And watch Short Term 12 as well. That's another one where you're just like, God damn, she is a fucking firecracker. And I mean, I'm not going to say who, but I know someone that's hung out with her very well. And that she's just the chillest, coolest person of all time.
She seems that way.
That she's just extremely humble, just a normal person. And it makes me love her.
That's wonderful.
So much.
Oh, speaking of things we loved, OJ Made in America won for Best Documentary.
I love it.
Yeah, and I called that he was going to mention Nicole and Ron.
I mean, I do you think it's taboo?
I thought it was a risky move, but it paid off.
I thought it was. I enjoyed it, but the people I was with was like, "Fuck him for saying that."
No, I mean,
like for making it happen, and I was like, "But no, I think it was more of like a respect."
It was
yeah.
it was a total respect.
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like I still haven't seen the documentary, and it's also on my list for this week.
God,
but
you will only think OJ. I'm only thinking OJ.
I only got to thank OJ.
But like, it is weird how, especially when like real true crime, like murder mysteries, things become really famous, and then you forget that like two people actually died, And like, I feel like just saying like, by the way, this whole thing that everybody's cared a lot about for like 25 years, that was because like two people died, and like, let's talk about them and let's name them and recognize that sucks that they were killed. I feel like that was actually like, oh yeah, like the story of OJ isn't just like, woo, OJ. It's like, yeah.
Although
he killed
you will
two
learn,
people.
girl, I think hour 6 into OJ Made in America, you ain't even thinking about OJ like that anymore. With the environment of everything, oh my God, it's blowing me away.
How do I watch it? What mechanism?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu, okay.
I mean, it is just, it's not even a, he's a thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it changes how you feel about the entire, all of it.
Yeah, it's like how a person can be ruined with love.
Yep.
And let themselves be ruined. Like, it's that like little soup that can be made. Like on the last podcast, we talk about like this serial killer soup that gets made. And O.J. Simpson was like just turned into like this angry narcissist who had to get what he wanted and had to be accepted, and how that ended in murder.
I mean,
And he was that's
And also the soup of like just racial injustice and police brutality
Right.
in L.A. and how that turned into O.J. being acquitted.
it
Right.
became a stew
Yeah,
of
it's-
bad. The soup became a stew. It got viscous. It got thick. There were too many potatoes, and then it was just like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. Get rid of it.
It's just
throw it in the garbage.
You know what, Rachel
It's
Ray?
the potato soup. No one likes potato soup. This soup has too many potatoes.
Get rid of it.
You know what Rachel Ray calls a really
God.
thick soup?
Or
It's disgusting.
A blooper.
Get ready. She calls it a stoop.
I'm going to throw up.
And it's spelled
On the microphone.
S-T-O-U-P.
Oh my God, it's a stew. Oh God, I put it on too long. Oh, what? You know, it's fine. We get a chunky stoop.
She calls it, but it's between a soup and a stew. And that's a stew or a soup. You don't need to invent something that's in
it's a
between.
stew. Yeah, it
It's
becomes a stew.
If it's really thick, it's a fucking stew. If it's thinner, it's a soup. You don't need to invent a third category. Anyway.
Oh, I feel like my brain is inundated with things that I want to talk about the Oscars. Meryl Streep's dress pants outfit, loved it.
Yeah.
How about Mel Gibson, who knocked up what is she, 19-year-old?
She is a young person.
She's very, very, very young.
And also, it's interesting because so many people, like in the beginning of the red carpet, where they come up and talk to the, Good Morning America people, whatever, they come up usually alone or they introduce the person they're with. He went up with her. He was the only one that just had his arm around her, did not acknowledge her presence. She just stood there with this, like, I was trying to watch her eyelids to see if she was spelling out SOS. Because, like, with her winks, I didn't know because it's like she's made out of plastic and she's stuck in this. Should we save her?
Well, he acknowledged her pretty much as an object, like because Michael Strahan's like, oh, doesn't she? He's like, yeah, she looks beautiful. She just had a child. Look at her. But anyway, Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
And at one point, somebody made a joke at Mel Gibson's expense. And she laughed really, like, during the show, and she laughed, and then, like, definitely, like, looked at him. And he, like, it was just one of those things, like, little things like that. Of course, you can read into it and project or whatever, but she, like, I just remember noticing that she, like, laughed really hard at one of the jokes that was at his expense, and I was like, oh, my God.
Poor woman.
His face, what's wrong with his face? Why does he always look like he's got the same face as Eric Trump, where it looks like he's, like, frozen in, like, a
grimace, yes.
Like, somebody was like, don't make that face too long or it'll freeze that way. He's just like,
I think you just heard what women wanted for too long.
I can't take it. Yeah, I'm like, when did Mel Gibson? Yeah, I don't know. That's another talk. They're like, I love Andrew Garfield a lot. He looks really weird.
Rat face? I
shouldn't say I love him.
I'm sorry.
A lot.
I shouldn't say
His hair was about 2 inches away from being Bram Stoker's Dracula.
And it's another neck issue for me. I think I've got neck issues.
He's got a little neck?
No, he's got a long neck.
Oh, the long
He's
neck.
got a giraffe neck.
He also had kind of a small face.
And he's got a rat face. And so the problem is with a tiny face, he's an attractive man on paper. I'm not saying that. But with tiny face with long neck gives him rat features. He's a Josh Hartnett.
Definitely. Josh Hartnett is like a
Beetle.
He's like he's an overgrown rat. I thought that Andrew Garfield was a fine Spider-Man. No? Okay. All right, we don't have
I don't even know. I don't know.
He was fine.
He was fine.
He was okay.
Some people I know like him better than Tobey Maguire.
I've just never
don't.
enjoyed the cut of his jib is really what it is.
I hear you.
I mean, he's British and he doesn't do American accents very well.
He's
No.
British?
Yes, and then he also did that weird and like that's the thing with Hacksaw Ridge. I did not see it. I have seen like the trailer, seen the clips of it. It's the Southern accent, his fake Southern accent that I could not watch for 2.5 hours. I can't do it.
Awful.
Go date how, and then he knows that I cannot kill a person. You are not Forrest Gump. I don't know what you're doing, but it wasn't for me.
I don't know. I mean, to me, like when
Get
movies,
a Southern person or get an American person.
when movies like that get so many accolades, it makes me watch them like, holy shit, none of these critics have ever spoken to a Southern person once in their entire fucking life.
100%.
Because he sounds like a high school drama kid.
Yeah.
It was the same thing in the Scottish girl in No Country for Old Men. She sounded like a high school sophomore overacting.
In Oklahoma.
In
being
Oklahoma.
Like, oh.
She sounded exactly like the girls that when I used to do one act play in high school, that she sounded just like all the girls overacting in Steel Magnolias.
Yeah.
It was that
doing
same,
a British accent for no reason.
It was that same, but it's like British people cannot do Southern accents. They cannot do it.
It's just very different. It's just I mean, unless you study it, unless you work, I mean, like, I'm sure that it is possible. This particular one, cannot.
Oh, absolutely
For sure.
can't. Well, maybe, I mean, I'm not saying British people can't do Southern accents. I'm sure there probably are some British actors who have done wonderful Southern accents. I'm sure people will let me know. But when a British person tries to do a Southern accent and, like, critics don't notice it, it really bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah, I totally hear you. And it's not only the accent, but it's the whole vibe. It's just like, I'm just a simple Southerner.
And I don't want to kill nobody no more.
I ain't gonna touch no gun, but I'll tell you what, when I go to the war, I will save people. I will not hurt their people.
Yes.
What do you say? That's not. It's a Forrest Gump syndrome. I think that they just watch Forrest Gump, they slap that on there. It's like, he's a simple man. Well, we're not all simple down there.
And to me, like, you know, you guys have seen way more movies than me, and I shouldn't. I don't know.
You are allowed to contribute.
I feel like there's like. Watching last night, I was just like, there's just such a difference between a movie that, like, tells stories in the service of, like, really, like, bringing real people and characters and ideas to life, and a movie that's just like, I'm a movie, you know?
I guess that's what. Okay, so we're watching, you know, for Best Actress. I'm not even saying this against Emma Stone. We talked about this last week. She did a fine job in the movie. It just wasn't. It wasn't the meaty part. I thought she was miscast. I don't think that she should have been in that part.
Yeah.
So that aside, you watch the clips of them in the movies before they say who won. And watching her do that, I was like, I could have done that when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
There are 1,000 easily women that could do that exact thing that you just did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the other roles were not that. And that's what upset me about it. Where
Yes.
It's like, that. I'm not saying she did a bad job, but
Yeah.
it was easy. I mean, like the light singing, sure. The light dancing, sure.
Yeah,
but
but when somebody said they were a triple threat, I was like,
no.
No.
They're not. They're not a triple threat.
The amount of, and the other thing, I was talking with a friend about this
How
yesterday.
about
Like,
Viola Davis, who's so close to being an EGOT, by the way?
she,
But she can't sing.
That's fine.
but oh yeah, if okay, so this is the thing. Another thing about Hollywood, it's like, think about how many goddamn working actors are out there busting their ass either on Broadway or trying to get on Broadway who can legit act, sing, and dance. And instead, you get two beautiful stars. And Ryan Gosling is fine. He's very charming. I like watching him on screen. Emma Stone is also very charming and fine, whatever. But, like, it's just, I feel like everyone keeps telling me, oh, you'll love La La Land because you love musicals. And I feel like and I know that some people who love musicals did love it, and maybe I will. But I think it's kind of an insult to the idea of a musical to just be like, we'll just take two really beautiful, famous people. They might be okay at singing and dancing, but, like, there are people who can legit sing and dance and act, and they're not famous, and so they're not the ones who get to be the ones in the musical. Like, cast people who, I mean, and when you look at musicals from back in the day, granted, like, some people could sing better than others, but, like, those people could either sing really well or dance really well or sometimes do all three, right? Acting, and, like, so it's just the idea that it's just, you just pick the most beautiful person who can do pretty good. But it's like, there are people who, dancing and singing is a freaking art form. Musicals are an art form. It's not just about beautiful people.
Here.
Anyway,
here 1,000%. But that's why when Emma Stone won, I yelled a lot of profanity at the television, not at her, but just in general.
who should have won from Best Actress?
I was just trying to think that, but I can't.
It was Meryl Streep and
Not Meryl Streep. I love Meryl Streep, but no one saw that movie. It wasn't Elle.
It was, there was another woman who I forget. I think the only woman of color.
Natalie Portman.
That's my name. No,
That's my name.
And then there was
Isabelle Huppert.
No, she was the French one. Who's the
Ruth Negga.
It was Ruth Negga from Loving. That is who should have fucking won.
Was that good?
I fell asleep to that, but I was really, really tired. But however, it was one of those ones that I put on that I was like, oh, it's another. I mean, it's like I felt like I was like, oh, I get this movie, but it's so much more than it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful movie. She is beautiful in it.
It's about interracial marriage, right?
Yeah, but it's like in the 1950s when it was illegal. So I mean, it's the process of him fighting to love her, and Ruth Negga, who also, like, her dress, outstanding.
Yes.
And I wanted her to win. I believe no, I don't know. I won't say that. I won't say that. I won't say it with confidence. But she was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I think that she should have won.
Well, so there and how I mean, it
and
would've been-
especially thinking of how much she stretched herself to do that role, to encompass this character. And Emma Stone played an actress who's trying to be an actress.
Yeah.
And again, I think that she did a good job, but character-wise,
It's like I had to put myself in the role of somebody who like wasn't successful.
it wasn't successful. It
And
was
I
like
don't know-
before I was successful.
It was like so hard because I did acting for like 2 years before I got my first big role. You know,
the thing.
and it was
That's
like hard those couple of years. You know,
That's my problem.
Yeah, I feel like this was just really it would have been cool. Like, I mean, Mahershala Ali was the first Muslim person I think ever to win an Oscar.
Yes, ever.
And Viola Davis, and then like if it would have
Viola
been
Davis is fucking. Ooh, that dress. Oh
was
my God.
exquisite. Yeah.
She is, I mean, talk about just harnessing class.
classy woman.
She was super classy.
And her raspy voice, too. She's got that gravelly, deep voice. I'm in love with her.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like there was a lot of good speeches. Like, people had interesting things to say. Like, there's enough going on that, like, and enough like people from Muslim majority countries who won things to be like, okay, I'm actually not here because of the Muslim ban and things like that, or I'm not coming in solidarity. And I feel like it was just like it was a good, like, obviously it's the Oscars. It's not like
But it was still fairly jovial,
it was
though.
super jovial. That's the thing.
It was fun.
You can
it
have
was
things
fun.
to say and still have it be really fun and jovial, but also like, yeah, we're living in a really intense time right now. Like, let's comment on it.
And also people be like, yeah, we're living in an intense time, but not that intense.
I mean,
So
it's
like
we
everyone
can
cool your shit a
still-
little bit. Yeah.
It's still a bunch of rich people in a room that were giving out, awards.
Yeah, giving out prizes to each
Yeah,
other.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, in other news, Oscar Isaac is starring in Hamlet soon, and I'm going to spend probably however much money I have in my savings account to watch him do it.
Yeah, on Broadway, you mean? Or?
On Broadway. Oh, yes. On Broadway.
It's like a movie ticket is not that much.
No.
On Broadway.
Yeah, no,
On
he's playing Hamlet on Broadway.
Oh my
and
God.
I will have to go see it.
Holy shit, I'll go with you.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Unless you want to go like on a date.
No.
With someone
I was
else.
thinking about going alone. I was going to slip and slide my way into the Broadway seat.
Just drunkenly careening through the crowd. Excuse me.
I like him to be your what?
You got a bean flicking room running.
Why is he talking to a skull? Never mind, I remember. I study this. I was a theater major.
I read this so many times and I forget every time.
Miss this house and miss that house and come right after you.
No.
I just feel like I just know his face so well after watching all these seasons of Big Love.
That's what I keep thinking about is Big Love. And I know, okay, so when he died and everyone was like, oh, Bill Paxton from Twister and Titanic. And I, before looking it up, racked my brains to figure out who he was in Titanic before realizing that he was one of the ones in the present. Nobody cares about the ones in the present.
Nobody cares. See, my original was like, because, I mean, it should be on his tombstone is game over, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Game over, man.
Yeah.
Game over.
Oh.
There are so many movies to remember Bill Paxton by. Titanic is not one of them.
No, everyone forgets him in Weird Science. How fucking funny he was in Weird Science.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that movie in a really long time.
He was the brother.
Yeah, and Weird Science.
I
That
vaguely remember
he
that.
got turned into the gigantic, like, gross
I'll
monster.
watch that again.
Yeah, he was funny as shit in
I
that.
mean, and he was sexy when he was young. God, Twister.
Wait, are you guys so my husband who's 42 was like, do you remember this? He was hanging out with a bunch of people who weren't 42 last night and was like, does anyone else remember the MTV video Fish Heads? I think
Yeah.
it's called?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
thank you. And all of us were like,
No.
But apparently he was in like one of the first music videos that was on MTV called Fish Heads.
Yeah, real weird stuff.
Real weird.
Extremely weird song, but really fun.
And Bill Paxton is there.
God, complications of heart surgery.
That's so scary.
So scary.
Well, he knew it was risky.
Yeah,
He'd
but,
been
I
sending out emails being like, hey, I think this is going to be a little risky, but I want you to know everything's cool, because he was going to come back for, like, Edge of Tomorrow 2.
That's so scary. What type of, was it like open heart surgery or?
I'm not sure. All I know is that he had a stroke, like either during or right after. At first, when I first heard it was mid-surgery, it was like, plastic surgery.
Yeah, me too.
That was the first thing I thought of, but I think that's just a Joan Rivers thing now for me.
And Kanye's mom.
Ugh.
Boof.
But yeah, and so I'm not exactly sure, but I know that he had a stroke either during or right after.
It was
so
after.
Scary. Jesus Christ, 61 years old. That's when I was like in high school, somebody who was like 55 died, and I remember my parents being like, "That's so young," and I was like, "What you're saying doesn't make any sense to me." And now I'm like, 61 is a baby.
There's not enough time.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not enough time.
Exactly.
That's why 50 out.
You're out at 50?
50 years old.
Yeah, you've made this promise several times on the show before. It always
50
makes me
years
nervous.
old. I'm running out of time.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
You can't.
You can't
You're
even-
going to be such a great old person, though.
I'm going to be a drunk old person.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to stay because, you're going to be such a good, you're going to get, when you're old, you can yell at people.
I just never want to be that. I don't want to be the always right. It's like I already do that, but now it's funny. And then later on, to be like, oh, God, well, she's got nothing else to live for. I never want to be the she's not got nothing else to live for.
The feeling that
I still like pretending I'm in like Indiana Jones, like, oh, she can outdrink the men. Like, I want that for the rest of my life. I'm going to be a great mom.
All right. All right, it's time for the list.
Who's on the list? Marquez, gotta have that list.
Celebrities with weird collections.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you find such good lists.
Odd hobbies. Angelina Jolie collects knives.
Well, you know, it doesn't surprise me.
That doesn't
I'm
surprise me.
surprised
Does
it's
she,
not like human skin bound books.
does she collect necklaces to wear them around herself so that she can stab people at any moment?
She also collects first edition books.
Eh.
Yeah.
I would love to get into a knife collection and then like get into like eating apples and then just staring at somebody and peeling the apple with a knife. I mean, I'll never eat the apples is really the problem.
Oh, you would be good at that, though.
Yeah,
I'll
thank
eat the
you.
apples.
All
You
right.
can peel them and then hand them
And
to
I'll
me.
hand them to you.
You'll be staring threateningly at the person, and I'll just be sitting with a blank expression on my face.
Or we can do it with potatoes. We can make a bunch of mashed potatoes.
I love
but I like it with the skins on, so that would never work.
We can make some potato stoops.
Oh,
Stoops.
Stoops.
I'm so glad that made you as angry as it did. I hoped it would.
hate stoop.
Stoop. Isn't that so fucking stupid?
Ooh, it's stupid.
Johnny Depp reportedly has dozens and dozens of special edition Barbie dolls.
Yikes.
Actually, also not surprising though, right?
Really? I guess
Can't you picture him going into the room and speaking to them?
And then Tim Burton, that are just like lifting up their dress and be like, what is that in there? When he's all just like methed out of his brains.
He's got thousands of dolls just so that he can look at what's under their dress.
There's no key
Who are
fact,
you?
nothing under there.
Who are you? What's your name? What's under there?
Like, are you a veterinarian, Murray? Do you like to study animals? You can study my panda bear. But really, he's just got a panda bear in a cage somewhere in his mansion.
Nicole Kidman collects coins.
We didn't even talk about Nicole
clapping.
Kidman's clapping.
Oh my God.
The
Clapping
the palm
with the
clapping.
heels of her palms.
She clapped with the heels of her palms with her fingers curved outwards.
What my favorite, hands down, the second I saw it, I was like, that's what it is there was a tweet that someone said that she claps the way Jim Carrey did in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Because like they had the same hand thing. Why was she clapping like that?
Maybe she has arthritis. Maybe she has some sort of like hand.
Would
like,
you hit it in the base of the hand? I feel like that would be the tips of your fingers if you had
Yeah.
arthritis.
I feel
right?
like I would clap that way if I had just painted my nails.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just like 10 seconds ago painted them. You'd be like,
Could
oh,
be.
can't touch. But I think that more likely she's just a weird human being.
Well, I've actually got a blind item
What?
that I think explains it.
Teammate.
Not yet.
No.
You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. But I think I do have a blind item that explains this, and it's from weeks ago.
Whoa.
So this is something that's very interesting. We might have a bit of a page 7 putting the dots
Scoop.
together here.
I think that we are getting to the point between your lists and your blind items. I think that we're actually like uncovering some secrets.
Well, I mean, they've been uncovered on the internet already, but I think we're publicizing them. I think we're putting them all together. We're connecting the dots. We're connecting all.
A spicy, a meatball.
This is something that you established while I was gone. on?
No, it's just from Small Town Security.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the species of spicy meatball.
One of the 100,000 things that we've told you that you need to watch.
Yeah, Small Town Security is the reality show that was on, 2-3 years ago?
It is, again, one of my favorite shows of all time.
It's just a reality show about a small town security firm with
yeah.
a wonderful, weird cast of character. And the woman that says it's a species of spicy meatball, she was in like one movie 30, 40 years ago, and that's it.
And she's referring to herself when she's talking about a species of spicy meatball. But she has Parkinson's, so she's getting worse and worse. But she's just angry about it, so she's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And she had a public access show for a long time where that was kind of her catchphrase until she got kicked off of her public access show. What was it for?
I think she was just cursing to it. I mean, she was like screaming obscenities.
Yeah.
And then like there's just a whole like montage of her because she doesn't have the show anymore, just sitting in her chair that she can't leave because the only time she can get out of her chair is if she dances. So there's a lot of montages of her just kind of slowly shuffling dancing because she used to love to dance, but then she'll just sit in her chair and go, I'm spicy, I'm spicy, I'm on the ball, just to annoy everyone in the office, and she'll do it for hours.
See, again, this seems like I could see you growing into something.
I'm going to become. Oh, don't. I don't want to be her, Molly. I don't want to be her.
That's
50
not the only
years
thing
old.
That's not the only thing you would do. It would just be something you do sometimes.
You're right.
Demi Moore is a doll collector.
Yuck.
Porcelain dolls.
Ooh,
She reportedly has thousands.
Oh, like those ones that come in the ads that come in the Sunday paper. Did you guys have one of those when you were growing up?
Ew, and it's like, how
Yeah.
lifelike is this baby?
The
Yeah.
ones in Parade magazine.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, Parade, and they have names and they have backstories,
Yeah.
and
I
they're
just
like,
love it when it comes with a birth certificate.
yes.
That's my favorite.
Violet is just out in the garden doing her gardening for her.
Ew.
Daddy.
It's like Aunt Getty's.
It's like creepy Aunt Getty's.
I can't wait. I want to do adult Aunt Getty's.
We should definitely.
I
want
to be naked inside of flowers.
That's such a good idea.
Right?
Patent pending.
Okay, patent.
Copyright. That's such a good idea. We
Ew.
could definitely get a photographer to do that.
I had a friend whose mom collected porcelain dolls. You don't go over to their house anymore. I went to her house once, I remember, in high school, and I was like, nope. I was like, aren't they? She's like, I know it's a little weird, but like, it's really cool. She's like, this is my inheritance. I was like, that sucks.
I would look at them. Listen, if I lived in a house, would I get high and then just spend hours looking at the dolls? Yes.
Yeah, but the second my parent died, I'd fucking sell that
Sell
shit
'em, yeah.
so fast.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Out.
Get it out of here. Penelope Cruz collects coat hangers.
We were
What?
talking about her last night. Tiny face as well. You're talking about like wrapped, fabric
Yeah.
wrapped?
Beautiful face.
She has over 500 non-metal varieties in her collection
Non-metal.
of coat,
Good for her.
coat hangers.
The question,
Speaking
though,
of Faye Dunaway.
So fucking hot.
Selma Hayek versus Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, I'm going for Penelope Cruz.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. I've never noticed.
Oh,
her
I
tiny
know.
face.
Oh no, I know that she's beautiful. We just had that. It was like, I'm gonna say probably at least an 11-minute discussion of Selma Hayek versus Penelope Cruz, and at the end, I think I was a Selma Hayek.
Yeah. I mean,
She's
it's
also
a,
beautiful.
Just for, but then they had the Vanilla Sky, argument. But my argument was more of the talent, like Frida Kahlo, like whole thing. They won ultimately. There is no winning. No one's going to fuck either one of them.
none of us are going to see either one.
No, not in person. Unless you get on that tourist bus,
Yeah.
they'll slap you in the Oscars.
I'll bet they look so weird. I'll bet that you ever see a really famous person, their makeup is so thick.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet they look so smooth and like their proportions are all weird. I'll bet that was a really jarring experience for those people.
Yeah, my girlfriend actually saw Nicole Kidman once on the street and said that she looked really odd.
Yeah.
Like just fucking odd. Like she remarked, like it caught her eye first. It's like, that's a weird looking person. And she's like, oh shit, that's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, their proportions are too weird because their heads are so big because their bodies are so tiny.
But it depends on who you see, because I remember seeing Julianne Moore, and I was like, who is that beautiful woman?
I did the exact same thing. I
Did
saw
you too?
I saw Julianne Moore walking her dog in the East Village.
It's just, and then I just remember it was like the hair, and I was just like, God damn, because I've always wanted her shade of hair, and I was just like, man, I love that hair color. It was like, oh, it's Julianne Moore. I'm like, is she more beautiful in person than she is on the TV?
Absolutely is. She smiled at me. Yeah. And it was a moment. Like I just kind of I was like I just did that kind of look where you're like, and like my eyebrows just kind of went up, but I didn't say anything. It's just like, oh, just sort of like a nod, and she smiled back at me.
Aww. Same
thing happened with Claire Danes in the West Village.
I remember you telling that story, and I like that. Makes me like her.
Also, stunningly beautiful.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
I love her.
But it makes me like Claire Danes to know that she smiled at you.
Yeah, it's just like, hi, yes, I'm a famous person. I understand this. I'm also a beautiful woman. I also understand this. Hello.
You signed up for that live?
Signed up by that live.
For the smiling purpose, not for the bothering them while they're walking their dog. But
Yeah.
Ugh, Reese Witherspoon, she collects antique linen.
Ugh.
For what? What are you doing with them?
This goes towards my theory that Reese Witherspoon is more boring than we give her credit for.
Yes, I will accept that. I will accept what you're saying.
She's just kind of, I don't know, 80% remarkable.
I mean, in Sweet Home Alabama, I'm going to say 90% remarkable.
Yeah. You want to
Yes.
guess her or what?
I think that she is a beautiful woman, but women. She's multiple women. I want to see Big Little Lies.
Oh, yes, I've read the book. I read the book.
Wait, there's a book?
Yes. Don't even get me started. I'll tell you. It's like a Australian housewife murder mystery author. I've read all of her books twice.
And you haven't watched the show yet?
No, because I was away.
Ugh, you're on your honeymoon.
I'm so excited about that show.
I can't wait to see it.
So excited. And it's probably going to be garbage because the books are kind of garbage.
That's
but
fine.
That's
I'm
great.
fine with garbage.
Good
You know I'm
garbage.
fine with garbage.
Good garbage. Just page turning garbage.
I love page turning garbage.
All right, y'all ready for blind item?
Yeah,
we can't see 'em.
All right. This first one is from, I think, what was the last award show before the Oscars?
The Golden Globes. Well, the Grammys, technically.
This one's from the Golden Globes, and this is interesting. Check it out. On the red carpet the other night, this current Academy Award nominee, who is an A-minus list, mostly movie actress, was loudly complaining to everyone that she wished she wore gloves because her hands looked old. If you were a reporter and said she looked beautiful, she stopped to talk to you. If you failed to mention it, or worse, agreed she needed gloves, she blew right past you.
Is this a Nicole Kidman?
This is Nicole Kidman.
Wow. Well, because you can't do a lot for the hands.
Yeah, the hands.
The
just
hands
kinda-
are always the tell.
But who's on the red carpet being like, yeah, you do need gloves? Like,
Your hands look like shit.
you look great except for your hands.
No, your hands, I want to throw up on them.
Give me your hands so I can throw up on them.
What I don't understand is I feel like I'm throwing out there that the main reason why she's still with Keith Urban is because he's so ugly and his haircut is so terrible that it really detracts away from her. Like, you're so busy looking at him.
Yeah. Every time I see them together, I'm like, what?
Yeah, especially when he talks and he's wearing a suit and those terrible tribal tattoos that he have keep poking up out of his neckline.
It's
Yes.
the weird mullet-esque straightened hair.
Yes.
That, like, I feel like I'm looking at her in my peripheral vision.
Yes.
Because I'm just so fixated on him.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed. And also, I don't know. I don't think that she's that stunning.
Well, I think she
used to be.
She
used to be, and now she's got that. You know what a harpy is in Greek
yeah.
mythology? Yeah, she looks like she's about to like sprout wings and have her feet turn into bird claws, and then she whisks herself away.
She is very bird-like.
She's a very bird-like woman,
Is it because she's so tall and spindly?
and I think she's got a beakish nose as well.
Yeah.
She does.
But that's the thing, is that she's the hottest bird in town.
Oh, yeah.
But she still has a heartbeat, which kind of makes her to me a little hotter because she's got this weird like kind of mythological thing going on.
It just makes me so sad, though, because then, like, they were showing clips during the Oscars of, like, young acceptance speeches. Man, I just forget how beautiful she was.
Yeah.
Is it Far and Away?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was Far and Away that she won for.
Or that she had all that sex with Tom Cruise?
That would be Far and Away, absolutely.
I mean, she was beautiful.
Yeah,
back
she was.
then. And it's so sad that, like, she's got alien face. She's got Madonna syndrome.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much cheekbone. girl, you didn't have that much cheekbone. Contour. I saw the videos. You could do it with the makeup.
Yeah, I need to look back at the older ones because every time I see her now, I'm like, I don't understand why she is this like goddess.
Because she was so beautiful.
She really was. Like, she was just a standard for just an absolutely stunning woman.
Oh my God. And now it's just kind of sad. She doesn't look bad on paper. I mean, like, if you forget what she used to look like and throw it in the trash, she's a fine-looking older woman.
Yeah,
I mean, her body
totally.
is still banging.
Totally, but she also just part of it. I think what I'm reacting to is she never looks like she's having any fun.
No. I don't think she's ever had fun. She's Australian. They're not made for fun.
Aren't they?
No, they're not made for fun. They're made for spiders.
Yeah, let me show you a picture of Nicole Kidman around the 90s.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, you see it now?
Yeah.
And she was also like just such a like. She didn't seem like she was trying too hard.
She's like a
either.
beautiful girl next door kind
She
of.
was just beautiful.
Yeah, she's the hottest girl next girl in the world.
Yeah.
She was just so beautiful.
And our other blind item today, also Oscars related, specifically red carpet related. That guy I revealed earlier today, that's from a different blind item, is trying to force the big star of one of his shows out the door. He wants more airtime and the spotlight shining firmly on him. If there is another epic fallout with a host, especially this one, I don't think he recovers. Morning talk show.
Michael Strahan?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Trying to force out Robin Roberts.
Really? How dare he?
You can't.
No.
Velvet suit, be gone. But I do love him. I like him.
He's fine, yeah.
And it was upsetting, the whole, Kelly Ripa thing. But, you got to take care of yourself when you got to take care of yourself.
Oh, that's where he came from.
Yes.
Oh, I totally had not made that connection.
I mean, but he was also a Giants.
New York Giants, yes. He was a football
Giants
player.
player.
Yes.
So I mean,
Thank you.
he's hot. He's got twin girls that he takes care of that I believe that he has sole custody of, which is also, are we talking daddies or are we talking daddies? But so I do like him a lot.
But friggin' Robin, I always want to call her Robin Wright, but she's not Robin.
She's not Robin. But she's not. She ain't going nowhere.
She is also I don't know.
She is Good Morning America.
Yeah, if there is a face of Good Morning America, it's her. And also, she's great. Like, she's...
Out of the two on the red carpet last night, Robin Roberts definitely was better than Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
Because she's got the experience.
Yeah.
She's A team. Michael Strahan's B team.
Yeah, for sure.
I felt sorry for the C teamers on the
It's rough.
pre-so red carpets.
It's rough.
The weird guy with the red suit and
It's rough.
the smiles. Like, there was a guy, he was wearing like a bright red suit jacket, a big bow tie, and he had one of those smiles that was all teeth, no eyes, and he was just struggling to get a word in. And just wasn't making it and just looked kind of uncomfortable the entire time.
My favorite moment on the red carpet was the person. It wasn't either of those two, so maybe it was with the guy you're talking about. But he was interviewing the French woman who was nominated for Best Actress.
Bill.
And he asked her give us like a super quick summary, like a minute. 30-second summary of what your character is. And because she's French and not American and not used to like our shitty soundbite culture, she was just like, well, I think this is a woman who is struggling with, and then like 3 minutes later, she was like, and this is where she really makes this journey to, and the guy,
you ain't gonna win here, girl.
and then insensuous ripped.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, this is the red carpets,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
sister.
And then,
dance around that a little bit.
person was standing next to her, she was like, oh, and then she just kept going. I mean, and she was doing fine. Like,
She was, yeah,
but
yeah.
it was like,
but she was
not-
doing fine for Cannes.
Exactly,
Like, she
right.
wasn't doing good for the Oscars.
not red carpet.
I even remember that happening. I remember not listening to one word she said.
and
I was like, all right, when's the next celebrity coming?
And then so she gives this like 3-minute speech about like struggling through like sexual assault, and then the dude is just like, all right, well, you look great, and then just like walked away.
And that's all we got time for on today's Page 7. Thank y'all very much for listening. Go join the Facebook group. Go buy a Jackie shirt.
That's my name. Oh my God, it's my dream.
I hope you all said it
true.
throughout your Oscars, because I sure did.
I know I did. I absolutely did. Every time it's like, Natalie Portman for Jackie, I go, that's mine.
My name. I even spread the word. It's like, yeah,
I love it.
Tell everyone.
Go to cavecomedyradiomerch.com. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
For more more shows like the one you just listened to, go to cavecomedyradio.com.